So have you ever wondered what a Mortal Engines Space Engineers server would look like? Well, this is our second one. We're here at the Nomad Training Outpost. I'm going to briefly explain what this server is all about, and then we'll have a look at some player creations on the tour. So the idea is there's two groups of players that you can play as. A Nomad, who has a little ship that you'll see many of in the future, or a Mortal Engine. Now, Mortal Engines can't have flyers, and Nomads can't have production except a survival kit, so they both need to rely on each other for help. So let's get looking around the server and see what the players have built. So let's kick things off with GDE's Orktown. Now this is an absolute beautiful creation, and this particular season compared to the last one, we allowed players to get a bit more creative with their cities. As long as it had a city vibe, it could also have a bit more of a style or a genre to it. It didn't just have to be a pure city from, you know, reality or sci-fi. It could be a city, you know, of your imagination. So this is of course Orktown, so you can imagine that some orcs would live aboard here. It's got that cool orc skull, reinforcement at the front for ramming, rocket launchers, artillery turrets. It's even got a custom artillery turret up here that's got limited arc backup cameras, and it's got some turrets up here. So this one was really quite strong in chasing down one of the other engines the other day. And remember, there is no jetpacks on this server, so they've got to have catwalks, ladders and access ways to get up and move around these various rovers. You see a little thruster back there as well to act as a booster. So very, very cool indeed. Let's jump on to our next rover. Now this is G's Ragnarol. This is now a tier 3 rover, so this one has quite a number of kills under its belt. It's a very, very menacing ship. It's got the missile launchers located in the bow. It's got these towers on towers of artillery and autocannon turrets, complete with a landing pad at the front for nomads, a custom built turret with built-in welder control. It's got these two sort of overseeing towers on either side. But what's really cool about this one is G's built this up in layers as well. So it's got like a lower deck, you can see here, that then brings you up to the secondary deck. And each of these decks are accessible, and it's just amazing and gorgeous to see players running around between each of these decks. And now on top, it looks like G has built himself a little hangar. So when nomads come and trade, there is a place for them to stay, or even keep their shuttle secure if the Mortal Engine comes under attack. Towards the rear, you can see there is like a little bit of an observation area. Look at this. Very nice indeed. A bar, everything that a crew would need on a long travel, and then a printer down at the bottom. We'll have a little bit of a deep dive into the middle of this one as well, see if there's any extra details. So there we go, that's the second to top floor. Each of these levels leading up, some amazing firefights I've seen happen on various decks. G was even boarded the other day by another player group, and a fight ensued on the decks of a moving ship. Very, very cool indeed. But let's continue on. Now, this next one might look familiar. Von Ruger has been busy building this Jawa Sandcrawler. Now, at first you might think, oh, that's not really a Mortal Engine, Aaron, is it? But it kind of is. It's a city for the Jawas, isn't it, on wheels? So this is exactly what we've got going on here. We've got a giant railgun, we've got artillery, we've got missile launchers, some extra skid wheels, and it's been lifted up there. Towards the side, we've got ourselves some auto turrets, as well as Gatling guns down the side. This is fantastic. A little welding station. Let's have a look inside the belly of this beast. Oh, look at them engines. So one of the main ways that people are powering, because uranium's far too rare, is using the ice to power hydrogen engines. So you're getting rovers and engines with proper big engine bays, and that's something I really like. Real industrial vibe inside this place. Catwalks on various levels. Let's have a look around at the back as well. So as we come across the side, we've got some more Gatling gun turrets, and we've got an entrance ramp to the rear. Look at that little piping detailing as well, and also a little mini Humvee stationed here on the back. Because Mortal Engines can have small rovers, but just not small flyers. Let's have an access through this rear ramp here and have a quick look what we've got stored back here. So it's just access to a cargo container somewhere where nomads could drop supplies. This is a really cool creation, really nice. A nice idea, a nice take on a city from a sci-fi universe. Is that like a little loading area at the top as well? Also a little access way and walking area, and also a turret up here, a custom autocannon turret. Very, very nice indeed. Let's continue on touring the server. So from a sci-fi city to a more traditional city, this is Liverpool by Nod. Now they've got themselves this really cool and wide front end with inward facing wheels with a whole variety of weapons facing forward. I've seen this is kind of like the ideal tactic for a lot of players, have as much facing forward as possible because the majority of the engagements come from that direction. So you've got artillery, you've got a missile turret, you've got a camera housed in a glass staircase, and then as we come in here, we've got this really cool hangar area. So you've got production on the side, thrusters at the back, and then an entrance ramp in case rovers are going to be built in the future. There's also a secondary access up here to the tower area. Now if we come to the back, we have got the Liverpool sign at the back there, and that is one lovely chunky rover. It really looks like a building in Liverpool, this. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but it's definitely been taking some time to model it. It's one of the buildings along the docks, I believe. But very, very cool indeed. Let's continue on. So let's take a look at some more Nomad ships. So we've got PMC Steves down here, the classic iconic Steve purple or pink sort of paint scheme here in this very reflective colour. This is a little cargo vessel used to run to outposts, resupply them, or resupply mortal engines at their request. He's available for hire. We've also got this Star Wars ship up here. Have a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Since we kind of lifted the restrictions a little bit on the Nomad sort of crafts, we're seeing more variance in design. It just allows people to have a bit more creative freedom. So as we come down into this ship, we've got access through a traditional way, 2 seats, and we've got 2 cockpits up in here as well. Plenty of rifles ready to grab, so they can pilot it either way, and they can be ready to fight or assist a mortal engine in whatever way they need. Let's continue on. Now, hidden here behind the trees, we've actually got a player on board working on this one as we tour this. This is Fottid's little town. So you can see they've got a very advanced or wiggly looking contraption. That is their drilling system there. I don't know if that's the front or the back. I'd have to have a look around. I'm guessing this is the front. This is more for traditional mortal engines with various areas that the player can live and explore, so multiple decks. I do like a multiple deck design, it's very cool. You've got little officers' quarters up on various areas as well. Nice bit of wood in construction, extra points going for Fottid for a traditional one like this. Lots of access walks and catwalks. Very, very cool. Let's have a look what's inside here. I'm guessing there's going to be engines and production. Yeah, it's a very industrial inside. At these lower tiers, it's just hard to make your ship or your city look beautiful, as well as being super functional and being able to do all the jobs that you need to do. So there we go. There's Fottid lurking away in some valley somewhere. I'll try not to give his position away too much. Very lovely over there though. The larger mortal engines, possibly tier 3 at this stage. I'd have to have a check of the beacons and what's marked on it. But this is of course RSB or Cajun. So Cajun has been hard at work. Cajun went with a bit of a different approach though. He tried to build the chassis first, so you're seeing like a platform with all the wheels on, covering the whole area that Cajun wants to cover eventually by building. You can see the sort of foundations that are starting to occur here, as well as some of the cool little Cajun flavoured flak rovers down here. Very nice. We've got a warehouse building towards the rear. What's hidden inside here? Oh, a drill of some kind. Look at that. Very cool. So that's a classic sort of plunge miner on a very, very big grid. Now, from seeing Cajun play with this, there is one issue. It has a very wild wheelbase and it likes to get stuck on invisible trees. There's also 2 landing pads down here. I like that additional detail so people feel like there's a place for nomads to dock if they come to trade with Cajun. Having a look at the wheelbase, quite traditional. You're going to have a lot of wheels to support the weight of this grid. I bet it's extremely heavy. You have to have a guess in the comment section on how heavy you think this is. There's also a little custom turret here as well. So they're allowed 2 custom turrets on this particular server at the minute. So you can see there's Gatling guns, artillery and autocannons in there, so I'm sure that can deal out quite some damage. Is there another one on this side? Not yet, unless it's been destroyed in action. Let's continue on. So let's take a look at another one of the Nomad facilities. Now the Nomad bases are quite weakly defended, so they have to think quite smart when it comes to defending. So hidden down here is an absolute gold mine of cargo containers. There is plenty of ships as well, so these little cargo buses, these little mini ones. There's also a mining ship here as well. So whoever this Nomad is, they are planning on stocking up supplies and probably selling them to the highest bidder. Oh, very cool. Nice little camouflage base. With these trees that are kind of phasable, it means you can build through them and use them as camouflage. That I think is a great idea within Space Engineers, rather than the silly trees that just pop and go all weird on you when you're driving through them. So we're off to another Nomad's base now. This one's a little bit more lavish. This one's got this interesting looking solar array with the Apathy's advanced solar panels up there. Very, very cool indeed. Then we've got these ships. This is a starburst base. And you can see that there's some beautiful design going on, using the panels there to add details into these ships. Just look at that. Look at these intakes as well. Oh, I love a good intake. That is very nice. That's doing it for me right there. Coming around the back, we've got a little magnet for stealing cargo and resources from the mortal engines when they come damaged. A lot of the nomads become a bit of scavengers. They're like birds, you know, scavenger birds. They wait above for the mortal engine to finish its kill, and then they'll take what they can without getting killed themselves. So we've got this larger blimp-like structure up here as well. Very cool. More in fitting with the mortal engine's traditional sort of theme. But a big blimp, lots of protection. Cockpit going up at the top here with access doors, quick grab weapons on either side, and a seating area or a gunnery platform if you decide to shoot from there. But very nice. This has a very powerful payload. If we have a quick look inside, we can have a look just how many thrusters it's got holding this thing up. So that allows it to pretty much drain a city of resources if it comes across one that's been abandoned. So a very cool and practical idea for the nomads there. Lovely base as well. So we're arriving now at another nomad's base. This one belongs to Shay, and as we know, Shay is always building some fascinating designs. So there's like a little platform builder hidden in this bush over here, and then we've got this wooden bridge that goes across. Look at this though. This is a really cool idea to like represent vines hanging from this old wooden tower. Look at these little ships here as well with all this wooden style going on. Very cool. It feels very rustic as well. Let's have a look at this little cockpit area. Oh, so there's a full interior going on inside here as well. Isn't that beautiful? So you can access the chair from the back there. A little hatch that drops down. And we've got another fighter over in this area with thrusters tucked behind. A very different style. I really like to see things like this. And look at this, traditional. It's like a Viking building. Very cool indeed. Let's have a look what's going on inside here. We've got some fire. Oh, there's a throne room. Oh, isn't that cool? Very nice indeed. It's a very fascinating nomad base. I really like that tower. Very cool indeed. Look at that little symbol below there as well. Anyway, let's continue on. So next up we have NBS's rover. So this is NBS's York. So you can see that this one has took an absolute pelting in a previous battle and is yet to be repaired, but I thought I'd show it you anyway to show you some of the cool features that's going on. It's got this side mounted drill, it's got this lower hangar bay, or it had a lower hangar bay until it was blown to pieces. And then the bit I really like about this one is these two sort of legs with reinforcements. You can see the reinforcements on either side have really taken some damage, and the central tower with the reinforced blast doors seems to have held on well. Now over this side we did have some custom turrets, one there and one located over there, but they have been shot off. But you can see the focus of players trying to get as much firepower facing forward as possible. A lot of these larger mortal engines seem to have quite a weakness to the rear, but if you play that in your favour, that's fair enough. So at the back here as well, there's also this little docking pad for nomads that would come and drop off supplies. But let's continue on, we've got a lot to see. So we've arrived at another nomad's base. This one belongs to Reevaluated, and I have to say, Reevaluated must have spent a hell of a lot of time on the colour wheel to get these colour transitions this smooth, especially with these unique shapes going on here. That is a lot of time. But this fits into the more traditional sort of ships that you see in the Mortal Engines universe. Very cool, very sort of creature-like. It really fits in with the vibe. The colour scheme not so much, but the actual ship itself fits in very well. Coming over here, we have this lovely little ladybug grinder. Oof, isn't that beautiful? I really like that one. The girlfriend likes that one too. We saw the little colour pad on the top there. It's just cute and fun, isn't it? So coming up a little bit further, we've got the base itself. It's got like this leaf that kind of covers the top. It's a bit plant-like, isn't it? And then is that a lower hangar? No, it's cargo storage. So a very cute nomad base. Let's continue on. So we've now arrived at RSA's base. Joshon has been hard at work building this magnificent creation. Look at this, 2 towers. That is a very formidable sight when that comes over the hill towards you. Once again, we've gone with these traditional reinforced wheel side areas. We've got a ramp that goes on here with a little viewing window for weapons, also some projectors on, but Joshon is aboard, so we're not going to criticise that. Some decoys even tucked up in here. Very interesting indeed. Got this lovely green, white and grey colour scheme. Looks like it's still not yet completed. Look at these armoured skirts. Also, Joshon's down here working hard to complete it, probably rushing before the servitor gets over here to him. Look at these gyroscopes underneath. This must be a heavy one. Yeah, there's a lot of reinforcement going on underneath here. There's also like a gate that raises and lowers at the back there. Some additional construction. Looks like these like the little outriggers at the rear here. Some reinforcement to the rear. Thrusters tucked in the back. Oh, that is an interesting Photoshop right there. Let's have a look in the building itself, see what we've got going on here. So we've just got like a tower, semi-construction. Let's go into the centre through the main area here. Oh my goodness gracious! Wow, this is a really cool city. And these are all little engineers. So I press the button. What's the button do? Button seems to be broken. Anyway, we'll continue on. One of my favourites, this one, not just because it's a city of me, for obvious reasons, but we'll do digress. So we're having a look at another nomad base, but this one is very well camouflaged. Look at this. You can barely see it. This nomad base that's hidden away between the trees. This is really good camouflage. I really like this. The whole of the base is hidden. You can see, well, we can barely see it, but ACI have hidden one of their nomad ships in here. How cool is that? And that camouflage from above, I won't go too far out to reveal exactly where it is, but you can see that's really blending in with that mossy green grass texture below. I think, is that concrete that's been used? Looks like concrete that's been used, but that's really blending well. You could miss that if you didn't look twice or your turrets didn't lock on. Let's continue on. So we're now arriving at the final mortal engine that we'll be looking at today. Now this is XTS's Canada rover. Now this ship was in far better condition and they're actually working on a better ship until it got chased down the other day and hunted. It's a hard way of going, a hard life for these mortal engines. But anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Let me know which of these was your favourite mortal engine and which was your favourite nomad creation. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time.